Time for another board game review, and this time we have the game Verdant. This was sent to me by AEG, and is designed by Molly Johnson, Robert Melvin, Aaron Mesburn, Kevin Russ, and Sean Stankiewicz. Take on the role of a houseplant enthusiast, collecting and caring for plants as you compete to create the coziest, most verdant home. Turns are simple. Select a card/token set and place each into your expanding home. With variable scoring goals, each game of Verdant brings a new spatial puzzle to your table. Let me show you how to play. So in Verdant, you are taking turns drafting plant cards, room cards, and item tokens, and adding them into your expanding home. So at the beginning of each turn, there will be 4 plant cards, 4 item tokens, and 4 room cards in the center of the play area. This is the market. You must select 1 item token and 1 card, either a plant or a room, from the same column. You will also obtain any green thumb tokens that are on any card that you select. We'll get into that in a second. Whatever you pick, you're going to be creating a 5x3 grid of cards in your personal play area, and this is your home. So, for example, let's say I grabbed these 2. Now, these must be placed orthogonally adjacent to other cards. So if let's say I'm just going to move this aside for a second. You start with 2 cards, and then whatever card you pick, you can place adjacent to another card in your home. Plant cards need to be next to room cards and vice versa in a sort of checkerboard pattern. So next to this one, there can only be plant cards. This one, you can only put a room card here and a room card. You cannot place them outside of the 5x3 grid. You cannot orient them or rotate them from their upright orientation. And once you place a card, it can't be moved. Now, as you place these cards, you're trying to place them in locations that have favorable lighting conditions to add verdancy to complete them. So, each plant has 1 to 3 different lighting conditions. If you have the top, there's that type of light. Each edge of each room card has 1 lighting condition. So you can see those symbols around this card here. If a match between the lighting condition on the room and any of the preferred lighting conditions on the plant card are made, then 1 verdancy is added to the plant card. Now, unfortunately, the copy they sent me is missing the small tokens. These are the big tokens that are worth 3, but just for the sake of showing you, I'll do that. But it's supposed to come with small tokens too. Now, if you make multiple card edge connections in the same turn, you check for all edges, and you could get multiple verdancy in that way. You can also choose to place the furniture and or pet item cards, or tokens, into your home, or spread nurture item tokens to carry out nurture actions. So you place this into a room card with an open space. It does not need to match this room type, but if it does, it will increase the scoring potential. So this yellow one, place it there. I'll score some extra points later. We'll get into scoring later. Whenever you complete a plant by adding the total number of verdancy that it requires, you can see right here on the top right, this one needs 4. Once this has 4 tokens on it, you remove all the tokens from the card and you pot the plant by adding the highest value bonus pot token remaining from the supply. In this case, it would be the 3.1, and you can just place that on the card. Once a plant is completed, it no longer receives any verdancy or nurture item token actions. So these green tokens up here are called the nurture item tokens. You can use these as one-time use items for different effects. Let me grab this one. The fertilizer, this just adds +3 verdancy to any plant, just at once. So there's that one. The hand trowel adds 1 verdancy to up to 3 plants. And then the watering can, you add 1 verdancy to all plants surrounding a single room. And yeah, so these are just ways to add more verdancy besides light. You can always choose to store a single item token you don't want to use that turn for later. You only have space for 1 at a time. You can also hold a maximum of 5 green thumb tokens from one turn to the next. So let's go into what these green thumb tokens are. You can spend green thumbs to carry out different actions. Each action costs 2 green thumb tokens. You can do what's called a token reset, where you take all the tokens from the market and you just swap them out. So if you don't like them, swap them out, get new ones out. You can do the same thing with cards. You reset any number of cards with no green thumb tokens on them, and then just replace the cards. You can also select any card and any token when you choose your card and token from the market. Normally, you have to pick either like adjacent ones, like this one or this one. But if you use green thumbs, you could grab this one and this one, if you wanted. You can also always just spend 2 green thumbs to add +1 verdancy to any one of your plants. Then, once you've done all your actions, you refill the market by adding any cards or tokens, respectively. You also add a green thumb token to the remaining card in the column from which you selected. So if I selected this card, this one gets a green thumb token, so that if anyone picks this card in the future, then they get a free green thumb. So let's get into scoring. Like I mentioned, if you complete the verdancy on a plant, you get the victory points printed here. Also, any extra verdancy on incomplete plants, you just count them up, divide them by 2, round down. Those are points. All your bonus pot tokens you got for doing plants quickly, each are worth a certain number of points. They go up. They start with 3, go down to 2, and 1. And depending on the number of players, there are different totals of these pots. Then you look at the room bonuses. This tells you for every this type of plant, in this case the little flower one, that is next to the room, you'll get a point. Let me just see if I can find one of those as an example. Yeah, so like a bush lily. You can see the little symbol there. If this was next to it, you would get 1 point. Also, if the room happens to have the same color token on the card, then you get double points for each matching plant that fits the requirement. You also get an increasing number of points based on how many unique furniture and pet item tokens you have in your home. It's like a classic, 1 token is 1, 2 of them is 3, 3 is 6, and so on. It just increases. So the more different tokens you have in total will get you more points. If you manage to collect at least 1 of each of the 5 different plant types, you'll get 3 points at the end for the plant collector bonus. If you have at least 1 of the 5 different rooms in your house, you get 3 points for decorator bonus. And there are also advanced goal cards you can choose to include. I encourage using these because it makes the game more fun. Stuff like coordinated alignment, 3 points for each row with all the same plant type. Or on vacation, 2 points for each plant with 2 or fewer verdancy achieved. Then all you do is add up all your points, and the player with the most points wins. If there's a tie, most green thumb tokens wins. That's pretty much it. So all you're doing really is just grab a card and a token, place them into your 5x3 grid, try to score as many different ways as possible, whether it's verdancy, whether it's lighting, well, lighting adds to verdancy, or plant types, or the different bonuses, objectives, and that's the game. So back in episode 126, I reviewed a game called Calico, which I really liked. And this game features gorgeous art from the same artist, Beth Sobel. And the vibes of this game are actually kind of similar in a good way. It's cozy art and theming that's packaged in a really fun, satisfying, and sometimes super tricky puzzle. It's very easy to pick up and satisfying to try and figure out the sort of optimal placement for your plants and rooms. There are multiple paths towards victory, which I like, a lot of different scoring opportunities, and you have to make really interesting decisions on what is optimal every turn. And again, I encourage using the advanced goal cards because they add some really welcome variety, as well as they're not overly distracting. I think they actually only add fun to the game. I don't know, this is just the kind of game I like. It's just a fun tableau builder, and you're just maximizing points. If you like puzzly games like Calico, this one is a lot of fun. I really love the vibes of it, and I really enjoy these types of sort of head-scratching, pleasant puzzlers.